Good morning, A-Bird Freedom Fam. So today we're going to dive into part 3 of helping new gun owners. Now, there is an epidemic, cue sad song, pictures of poor firearms chained to trees. But anyhow, all that aside, so there's actually an epidemic of new firearms owners that experience a bunch of regret, and then unfortunately they take that firearm that didn't meet their needs and they take it into a pawn shop or a gun shop, and unfortunately they lose their ass when they surrender it because maybe they weren't as informed as they could have been. So today what we're going to do is I'm going to cover a couple of regrets, and I actually did some homework on this one. So I'm actually highlighting new gun owner regrets. So the first and foremost is rushing the process. Unfortunately, this falls on us behind the counter. Sometimes certain establishments, you come in and you feel rushed that you have to make a purchase right now. And then, so in the excitement of becoming a new gun owner, some people might buy a firearm without enough research. That's literally what I just said. But unfortunately, that regret can lead to possibly getting the wrong firearm. Maybe you wanted something for home defense, but unfortunately you were in a big box store, not to knock them, and the person at the gun counter unknowingly recommended something that isn't applicable for home defense. Maybe for some reason the new firearm owner purchased a Remington 730-06. Well, you're definitely shooting through your house into your neighbor's house or into that car with a baby in a car seat driving down the street. We can do all the scary stuff. This is your brain on drugs. Boop, frying pan. And that's going to lead to possibly that person unknowingly going out and getting proper training because the firearm that they purchased isn't really what they want or doesn't fit their needs, so they're not going to go train with it. That's going to lead to safety concerns. Now you have somebody that's not experienced, they regret their purchase, and they don't want to go get proper training. So unfortunately, they don't understand the ins and outs of utilizing the firearm platform that they purchase. And then another one, and this is going to be the big one. We're done with the piece of paper. Ineffective shooting skills. So if your abilities do not bring you to the point where you should be buying a Desert Eagle 357 Magnum hand cannon, then when you do go shoot it and you get the large recoil and the heavy firearm and you're not effective, you're not hitting center mass, you're not getting good shots, that feedback from the target is going to turn you off. Where maybe that same person should have bought a different firearm. Maybe let's go with an easy one. The Shield Easy, maybe a 9mm to get them started. It's an effective firearm. It's a great firearm, reliable. Affordability is great. Ease of operation is great. But they didn't get that kind of information at first. One thing I do like to stress to new firearms owners, I'm actually sitting in a stool that's here in my shop. I have 2 of them. There's another one right here for all the doubters, right there. You can come in and you can pull up in this stool and have a seat, and you can ask all the questions you want to ask. You can look at any of the firearms in the case off screen, because I don't want this video to be a focus on the firearm. I think all too often the new firearms owner is overlooked and too much stress is put on the firearm. And coming out of improper or ineffective or just nonchalant, not doing it, training, they're not going to understand proper firearms handling procedures. They're not going to get the confidence from knowing they can do it safely and effectively. It can be a big turnoff, and that sometimes will lead to firearms ending up in various locations for sale, and then you have another person turned off to the firearms industry. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to extend to all new firearms owners, if you happen to be seeing this because maybe you did a Google search and it shifted you over to YouTube and you're considering a first firearm, go ahead when you drop that like and that subscribe. If you do so, that's great. I appreciate it. We're getting closer to the 100 subscriber goal, which will be an error correct costume with an error correct item in an error correct location. Enough of that. Shameless plug on the 100 subscriber video. Actually looking forward to that one. But go ahead, drop in the comments and put a comment that maybe you're considering buying a first firearm and maybe what you're thinking about, but go ahead and put in there why. And what I'd like to do is with this, I'd like to pull it and see what is a lot of first firearm owners' first choice and why, so that I can share that with my other customers that come in on their feet, not on the interweb, so that we can all work together to try to stamp out some of the regret and the misconceptions that are reflected both upon new firearms owners and also by new firearms owners, making us a bigger community. As always, just another little quick tidbit to maybe help out a new gun owner without being stressful. No firearms in the video, the stool, the shop. Come on in, have a seat, have a conversation, ask your questions. I'll do my best to answer them, or at least help you to find the location to go and get them. As always, stay safe. First-time gun owners, do your due diligence. We're here to help. That's all I got for today, and that's Why Wednesday.